Өнөөдөр бид та бүхэндээ чадварлаг мэдрэлийн мэс заслын эмч доктор Александр болон ариун авиа судлалын үүсгэн байгуулагчдын нэг хадагта Карен Ньюэл нарын бичсэн ухамсарч ертөнцид амьдрах үе мэдрэлийн мэс засалчийн ухамсарын гүнд хийсэн аялал хэмээх номыг танилцуулж буй нэвтрүүлгийн 1-р хэсгийг толилуулах болно. Бидэнд уг номын зохиолчтой уулзаж тэдэнд тохиолдсон гайхалтай зүйлс болон олж нээсэн зүйлсийн талаар сонсох боломж олгосон юм. Доктор Александр нэр хүндтэй эрдэмтэн мэс засалч эмч нарын гэр бүлээс гаралтай. Тэрээр 25 жилийн турш их сургуулийн мэс заслын эмчээр ажилласан ба үүний 15 жилд нь Ботсон мужийн алдарт Харвард ангаах ухааны сургуульд мэс засал зааж байжээ.
Thought I had some idea of how brain, mind, and consciousness work. Turns out I was brought along in the modern scientific tradition of what is known as physicalism or materialism, the fact that only the material or physical world exists, and therefore the brain must somehow produce consciousness. So I believe, like many conventional scientists, that our existence is birth to death and nothing more. And then my near-death experience back in 2008 showed me something very different. It had to do with the fact that my neocortex, the part that modern neuroscience says is essential for any kind of human awareness or detailed consciousness, was wiped out by a severe bacterial meningitis.
оны 11 сарын 10-ны өглөө үүр цах мөчид доктор Александр урд өмнө үзэгдэж байгаагүй менингоцефалитис хэмээх нууцлаг ховор бактериас болж комд оржээ. Тэрээр хиймэл амьсгалтаагаар комд 1-7 хонж амьд үлдэх боломж нь хурцтай буурсаар байлаа. Гэвч 7 дахь өдөр нь хүн бүрийн гайхширлыг төрүүлэн тэрээр сэргэжээ. Тэр амьдралынхаа бүхий л ой санамжаа марсан байсан ч энэ дэлхийн оршинлоос илүү гүн, илүү бодит, сэтгэл татам өөр ертөнцийн гүний гайхамшигт аяллаас шинэ ой санамжтай иржээ.
It all began in a very primitive, coarse, unresponsive realm, what I call the earthworm's eye view, which was like being underground in dirty jello, surrounded by roots or blood vessels. But I was rescued from that by a slowly spinning white light that came packaged with a perfect musical melody. And music, of course, has become very important in my journey, and that's why I work so closely with Karen Newell and Sacred Acoustics. But music in the spiritual journey was crucial for all of the various phases and transitions, because that first spinning melody of a pure white light opened up like a portal up into a rich, ultra-real realm that I call the Gateway Valley that was much more real than this world. That's the surprising thing. And not only that, it had many Earth-like features. I was a speck of awareness on a butterfly wing. There were thousands of souls down below us dancing. It was a realm of perfection, of ideals, no sign of any death or decay. In this beautiful valley, I witnessed these souls between lives that were dancing below us, and lots of beautiful flowers and waterfalls into pools, but incredible sense of love, this overwhelming sense of love that first manifested to me as this soft summer breeze that blew through and essentially changed everything. And on that butterfly wing was a beautiful girl. And she, as those who've read Proof of Heaven will realize, 4 months after I awakened from coma, she proved to be essential at proving the reality of this journey, because when I first saw her during my near-death experience, I had no idea who she was. But her message to me, I believe, is a message for all souls. You are deeply loved and cherished forever. You have nothing to fear. You will be taken care of.
Доктор Александр клиник бүхлийнхаа талаарх гайхалтай дурсамжаас хуваалцаж байна.
It changed everything. Now, of course, initially I was just rocked to the core. In fact, when I first woke up in that ICU room, I didn't even recognize loved ones at the bedside, like my mother, my sisters, my sons. I had no words or language. I had no memories whatsoever of Eben Alexander's life. But words and language came back very quickly, literally over the first few hours and days of awakening. and then childhood memories over a few weeks. In fact, all of my knowledge, including all semantic knowledge of neuroscience, physics, chemistry, biology, cosmology, came back over about 8 weeks. But the mystery was only beginning with that extreme return of my memories to a point where they were more complete than they had been before. And that is something that completely violated everything modern neuroscience would say about the brain, neocortex, and consciousness. And therefore I started on a journey 10 years ago, after I awoke from this coma, of trying to explain my experience. And that has put me in alignment with many modern scientists who study consciousness, who realize that consciousness is not produced by the brain at all, but in fact consciousness is what actually exists, and the brain is a reducing valve or filter that limits it down sharply.
Ухамсарын мөн чанар болоод бодит байдлын талаар илүү гүн ойлгохыг хүссэн доктор Александрын хатагтай Карен Ньювэлтэй уулзрах шалтгаан болжээ. Доктор Александрын дөнгөж олж нээж эхлээд байсан бэлэг ухааны Карен Ньювэл насан туршдаа ирж хайж байжээ. Далдын сургаал номлолыг олон жил судалж төрөл бүрийн аргаар хичээснийхаа дараа доктор Александрын нэгэн адил тэрээр дотоод ухаалд хүрэхэд аялгау ямар хүчрхэг үүрэгтэй болохыг олж мэджээ. Хатагтай Ньювэл өөрийн аяллаа хуваалцсан юм.
It all started back when I was young. I grew up in a traditional kind of United States Western culture where I went to Methodist church and to public school. And much of what I learned, though, didn't make sense to me. I wanted to know what was the real truth of our ancient culture. And so I kind of began a personal quest of discovering just that. And I moved on to reading all kinds of other texts, things like theosophical texts, Vedic texts out of India, the Dead Sea Scrolls or Nag Hammadi texts that are ancient books of the Bible that were edited out, things like that, like the Kabbalah, things like that that had to do with the unseen world, the metaphysical world. That's what interested me, not the physical world like Dr. Alexander. I was very interested in what is unseen, but in order to discover that, it's highly critical to develop some sort of practice of going within. We're always running and racing and thinking of things that we need to do next, and we don't take time to quiet our minds and go within. So this was challenging for me, and I found that certain types of sound really help to bring my mind to a calm state of awareness. Things like tuning forks or gongs or crystal bowls, Tibetan brass bowls, and especially this audio technology that's known as binaural beats or brainwave entrainment technology. And I enjoyed that so much that I ended up founding my own company called Sacred Acoustics, where we actually make recordings to help people get into expanded states of awareness so that they too can go within and find the answers to burning questions that we all have about what is our purpose, why are we here, and what can we do to make our lives better. And so that is where I find myself now co-authoring that book, Living in a Mindful Universe, and teaching other people how to find these expanded states of awareness from within.
Ямар гайхамшигтай түүхүүд вэ? Доктор Эбен Александр болон хатагтай Карен Ньювэл нарт урам хайрлам туршлагуудаа хуваалцсанд нь талархлаа илэрхийлье. Энэ цувралын дараагийн дугааруудад илүү дэлгэрэнгүй хүлээн авч үзээрэй. Ухамсарт ертөнцид амьдрах үед доктор Эбен Александрын номын талаар дэлгэрэнгүй мэдээллийг дараах хаягаар аваарай. ebenalexander.com. Шингийн ивэлээр өдөр бүхэн тань гайхамшиг баяр хөөрөөр дүүрэн байх болтугай. Ариун авиа судлалын талаар дэлгэрэнгүй мэдээллийг дараах хаягаар авна уу? sacredacoustics.com. Энэ удаагийн дугаараар бидэнтэй хамт байсан эрхэм үзэгчид та бүхэндээ баярлалаа. 2 сарын 24-нд Нэм гарагт ухамсарт ертөнцид амьдрах үе доктор Эбен Александр болон хатагтай Карен Ньювэлтэй хийсэн ярилцлага нэвтрүүлгийн 2 дугаар хэсгийг хүлээн авч үзнэ үү.